Okay, so now let us move on to the next method, which is called as stock and debtors method. So first, let us try to know what is this method. Then we'll see what are the how do we do the accounting here. So the name here is what, stock and debtors method. So this is something called as stock and debtors method. It's very easy. Till now, what we are doing, we are preparing a main account which is called as our branch account. That would be called as our main most important account. Now in this case, if you remember, there what we are doing, whatever opening balances you are having, you are debiting to your branch account. Whatever closing balance you are having, you are crediting to the branch account, right? Now what I will do, see, opening stock was debited to the branch account. Closing stock was credited to the branch account. Opening debtors balance debited to the branch account. Closing debtors balance credited to the branch account. Now, we won't prepare the branch account at all. We'll be preparing something called as a branch stock account. We'll be preparing something called as debtors account. We'll be preparing something called as branch expenditure account. Uh, we'll be preparing something called as stock reserve account. We'll be preparing something called as branch adjustment account. And finally, the last one is going to be a branch profit and loss account, and of course goods sent to branch account. So total 7 accounts may be required to prepare in your stock and debtors method. It's very easy. Earlier you are putting everything in one account, calculating the profit in the branch account. Now what you do, instead of putting everything in one account, you prepare different accounts. Finally you will be getting the branch profit in somewhere called as our branch profit and loss account. That's it. So now your primary account here is basically branch stock is one account which you are supposed to prepare. Okay, at the same time your other primary account would be branch debtors account is one other thing which is your other primary account which also you are supposed to prepare. So branch stock account is one thing, branch debtors account is the other thing which are said to be called as your primary. Now whatever adjustments you do in the form of loading, what is the meaning of loading? We know head office is not sending the goods at cost. Head office is sending the goods by adding some element of profit. So ultimately I need to prepare something called as branch adjustment account. Okay, earlier what you have done, any sort of loading on goods sent to branch was credited in your branch account. Now I won't credit in, obviously the branch account concept is not there. So ultimately all these sort of things where I have to do in something called as your branch adjustment account. Then finally, earlier whatever expenses which the branch incurred, so what you are doing in the branch account itself, you are considering that as a debit, as to cash you are considering. Now there is no branch account, so I should separately mention something called as my branch expense account. So that's what is the other account which I need to consider. Then ultimately as you are having a loading on your opening stock and closing stock, in branch account what we are doing, branch account was debited to stock reserve in the case of your closing stock. Branch stock reserve account was debited, and your branch account was credited in the case of your opening stock. The same thing I will do, but not in the place of your what, branch account is not there. So everything should be taken as a part of your stock reserve, and I should reflect that in my branch adjustment account. Okay, then finally the last account, and of course we know something called as goods sent to branch. This is one more account which you are supposed to prepare. Finally the let me change this order here. So let me put it here, branch adjustment account. Okay, branch, and let me change the order here, goods sent to branch, let me put it here. Then ultimately branch stock reserve account, branch adjustment account, and the other one is nothing but your branch profit and loss account. So stock account is one of the most important where you will be getting your stock balance. Debtors account is one of the most important where you will be getting the amount of your opening debtors, closing debtors, credit sales made, cash receipt from debtors, discount allowed, whatever it is that will be considered as a part of your branch debtors account. Then you are sending goods to where? Branch. I need to maintain a separate account for that. Then we are putting something called as a stock reserve account. I need to maintain something called as a stock reserve account. Then branch expense anyways you are considering, branch adjustment you are considering, and finally I need to close my profit and loss account. That means whatever balance you are getting in branch adjustment should be transferred to where? Branch profit and loss account. That's it. That's what is a simple concept we need to consider. Now let us analyze each and every account. Stock, you are getting stock. Stock is an asset. As soon as head office sends the stock, what I have to do? Debit my branch stock account. As soon as the sales you made, you can make a cash sale. If you are doing a cash sale, stock is reduced, cash is getting. So ultimately what I will do, I will reduce my stock account as by bank. That's it. I may be doing a credit sale. If I am doing a credit sale, stock has to be reduced, and what I have to increase? Debtors has to be increased. I am transferring from stock account to the debtors account. Whatever amount sold in the credit, we are considering it as by debtors. Ultimately, in your branch stock account as two debtors. So ultimately, you are having opening stock to balance brought down. Additionally, head office has sent you some sort of goods. You had done a cash sale by bank. You made a credit sale by debtors. Then ultimately what, there may be some sort of loss. If in case of a loss, what I need to do, I need to transfer that to my branch profit and loss account. We need to transfer that whenever the loss is incurred, on that loss I need to segregate the loss element into profit and loss element into cost. Profit should be transferred to your branch adjustment account. Cost should be transferred to your branch profit and loss account. Clear? Again, so whenever there is any sort of loss, on that loss, segregate the element into loss, the profit element involved in that particular thing, segregate that into cost and the loading. Loading should be transferred to your branch adjustment account, the cost should be transferred to your branch profit and loss account. Then ultimately, after considering, you may be having some sort of closing stock. With this, branch account is done. Debtors account, we know absolutely perfect. You are having opening balance of debtors, to balance brought down. You are getting some sort of, you are making some sort of credit sales that you are transferring from stock. You may be getting some sort of cash from your debtors. By bank you will consider. You may be giving some sort of discount. By discount allowed you will be considering. And the discount allowed being an expenses, I should reflect that where? Branch profit and loss account. So ultimately from your debtors account, discount has to be reflected to your branch profit and loss account. That's what is the accounting impact for your discount. Then ultimately you will be getting your closing balance of your debtors. Now you are getting some goods from the head office. So ultimately what you are doing, branch account you are debiting to goods sent to branch. Ultimately goods sent to branch, what I will do, I will credit as by branch. You may be returning some sort of goods. If you return, debit your goods sent to branch account, credit your stock, increase your stock adjustment, because you are reduce your stock adjustment because you are returning the goods to branch. Ultimately stock has to be reduced. So ultimately send this to stock and debtors. I mean send this transaction to where? Your branch stock account. I have to transfer this amount to branch stock account. That's it. Now, so with this, your branch stock account is sent to goods sent to branch account is closed. Whatever balance you and head office is sending the goods to branch at what? Loading. Whatever amount of loading is involved, what I am supposed to do? Transfer that to where? Stock reserve. So I need to transfer that to where? My branch adjustment account. From the loading element has to be transferred to branch adjustment account, and the balance will be transferred to your trading account. So the balance, whatever figure you are having, that you are supposed to transfer to your trading account, same as usual. Then stock reserve, you may be having opening stock, you may be having closing stock. Whatever balance you are having on the opening stock will be debited. Opening stock will be debited. Loading on the closing stock will be credited. Where you are taking this? This will be taken to something called as our branch adjustment account. So stock reserve account will be debited with what? To branch adjustment account. Stock reserve account will be credited with to branch adjustment account. So ultimately the reserve will be transferred to the branch adjustment account. Then finally, as we have discussed, wherever any loss is there, loading on that will also be, profit element loaded on that will be transferred to your branch adjustment account. Cost will be transferred to your profit and loss account. Then you are also supposed to prepare your one more account is there. We need to prepare something called as your branch expenses account. Whatever expenses incurred by the branch, what I will do, I need to debit my branch expenses, transfer that to where? Profit and loss account. So balance, close your branch adjustment account. Then whatever balance you are having will be transferred to branch profit and loss account, and finally you will get the balancing figure in a branch P&L, which is nothing but the branch profit. So order is what? Branch stock, branch debtors, branch goods sent to branch expenditure, stock reserve, branch adjustment, branch P&L account. That's what is the concept. Clear? So just now, if the concept is clear, we'll start working with the problem. So what we'll do, problem number 6. Okay, problem, actually we are supposed to do problem number 5. From there, what we'll do, first we'll try to understand problem number 6, because problem number 6 is having huge adjustments. Once you understand problem number 6, problem number 5 will become quite simple. So let us discuss problem number 6, then we'll come back to the problem number 5. Clear?